In 1967, a young woman stepped off a Greyhound bus in Nashville with just $20 and a handful of songs no one seemed to want. She faced laughter, skepticism, and rejection. Executives dismissed her high-pitched voice, mocked her hair, and doubted her future in country music. Yet, this same young woman would go on to write over 3,000 songs, earn a fortune of more than $650 million, and become one of the most beloved figures in American history. Her journey from a one-room cabin in the Smoky Mountains to global stardom would redefine perseverance, creativity, and the meaning of success. Childhood in the Smokies. Dolly Rebecca Parton was born on January 19, 1946, in Locust Ridge, Tennessee, deep in the Smoky Mountains. The fourth of 12 children, she grew up in a world defined by poverty. Her father, Robert Lee Parton, worked as a sharecropper and construction laborer, but could neither read nor write, while her mother, Avie Lee, sang to the children to fill their empty stomachs with melodies. Their cabin had no electricity, no running water, and barely enough space for the family. The harsh winters, ice-covered windows, and cramped living conditions shaped the resilience that would later define Dolly's character and fuel her determination to escape the cycle of poverty. The weight of humiliation. Poverty wasn't Dolly's only challenge. It came with humiliation. At school, she faced ridicule from classmates for her homemade clothes and worn-out shoes. She vividly remembered the sting of shame as other children whispered, laughed, and excluded her from their games. Teachers offered little comfort, often overlooking her struggles. Yet these early experiences didn't break her. Instead, they left a deep impression that would influence her empathy and storytelling. From a young age, she understood both the pain of rejection and the importance of dignity. These lessons would later be reflected in her music and philanthropic work, always giving voice to the overlooked and the marginalized. Music as a lifeline. Even in the harshest conditions, music offered Dolly a refuge. Her mother sang Appalachian ballads while cooking, and her grandfather, a Pentecostal preacher, filled church services with powerful gospel hymns. By age 7, Dolly was already writing songs, scratching lyrics onto scraps of paper with broken pencils. By 10, she was performing on local radio stations, her voice carrying emotion beyond her years. Music became her currency, her expression, and her escape. It was also her weapon against the poverty and shame that threatened to define her. Each note and lyric was a step toward a life she knew she deserved but had yet to claim. The first steps toward stardom. At 13, Dolly made her debut at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. Standing on that legendary stage in a homemade dress, she trembled but sang with determination. Applause filled the theater, yet poverty still lingered at home. There were nights of cornbread and beans, nights when her father sat in silent despair over the family's struggles, and there were nights when Dolly lay awake, staring at the ceiling, vowing to escape. Every fiber of her being told her she needed a life beyond the mountains. That resolve would shape her career, teaching her that talent alone wasn't enough. Tenacity and self-belief were essential, leaving home and facing rejection. The day after graduating high school in 1964, Dolly left her family behind to chase her dreams. Armed with determination, she carried her songs and hope for the future. The world, however, was unwelcoming. Music executives told her she was too poor, too different, too country. Yet Dolly refused to internalize their rejection. She transformed it into motivation, working tirelessly to prove herself. These early rejections shaped her resilience and creative vision, teaching her that self-worth comes from within, not from the approval of others. Her struggle became a defining part of her artistry, inspiring millions who felt overlooked or underestimated. Climbing the music ladder. Dolly's rise wasn't immediate. She faced relentless competition, bias, and the demands of a music industry that often underestimated women. Yet her talent, work ethic, and unshakable optimism propelled her forward. She wrote hits that captured hearts and told stories rooted in real life, blending vulnerability with strength. Songs like Jolene and I Will Always Love You would become timeless classics, resonating across generations. Each composition reflected her experiences, from the pangs of love to the trials of life. Her ability to transform personal hardship into universally relatable music cemented her place not just in country music, but in the cultural imagination of America. Building an empire beyond music, Dolly created an empire on her own terms. She invested wisely, expanded into acting, and developed ventures like Dollywood, turning her brand into a symbol of resilience and creativity. Despite immense wealth, she remained grounded, never forgetting her humble beginnings. Her philanthropy, particularly in education and literacy, reflects a life philosophy that blends success with responsibility. Dolly's empire wasn't just measured in money, but in influence and impact. She proved that stardom doesn't require abandoning one's roots. Instead, her journey shows that enduring success comes from holding on to who you are while daring to dream bigger than circumstances would suggest. Sacrifice and resilience. Success came with personal sacrifices. Long hours, relentless public scrutiny, and personal losses tested her emotionally. Even at the height of fame, Dolly faced moments of doubt that could have derailed her. Yet she persisted, channeling pain into art and purpose. Her resilience became a blueprint for millions, demonstrating that struggles are often invisible, even behind glittering fame. Dolly's story is not one of luck, but of relentless determination, vision, and courage. Her scars remind us that even those who appear invincible carry burdens, and that true strength lies in continuing despite adversity. Legacy beyond music. Dolly Parton's story is more than a biography of a country music legend. It's a lesson in humanity. She turned poverty into motivation, pain into creativity, and privilege into philanthropy. Her life reminds us that struggle doesn't define us, but choices do. Through her music, business ventures, and charitable work, she has uplifted countless lives. Her legacy is not measured by awards or wealth, but by the courage, empathy, and opportunity she inspires. Dolly's journey teaches that greatness is often forged in silence through quiet determination and unwavering commitment to one's values and dreams. Lessons to carry. Forward. Dolly's life encourages reflection. What can we learn from her resilience, kindness, and humility? Struggle is not shameful, and setbacks are not final. True victory comes from rising after falling and supporting others along the way. Her story is a reminder that our beginnings do not dictate our endings, and that giving back defines a lasting legacy. Dolly showed that success is amplified when paired with empathy and purpose. Each person has the capacity to turn challenges into opportunities and pain into creativity. Her life is proof that ordinary circumstances, when met with extraordinary courage, can produce a remarkable story. Conclusion: a life that inspires. From a cabin in the Smoky Mountains to stages across the world, Dolly Parton's journey exemplifies the power of perseverance, talent, and heart. She turned rejection into resilience, poverty into purpose, and music into a lifeline for millions. Her legacy continues to teach that greatness is not about wealth or fame, but about impact, empathy, and courage. Dolly's life is a blueprint for anyone seeking to rise above adversity. It reminds us that while life can challenge, it also provides the tools to overcome. The barefoot girl from Tennessee proves that who we choose to become matters far more than where we start.